Deepavali special of the Realty Debate. While school children across the country are yet again pledging to go green this year by promising not to burst firecrackers, we are here to do more. We are urging you to go green in your living in a far, far more meaningful way by making changes in your homes which can go a long way in minimizing your carbon footprint on this earth and, of course, enabling you to leave a better tomorrow for your and our children. How can we begin and how quickly can these changes be implemented? Let's ask our esteemed panel today. We are joined by Millie Majumdar, Director Sustainable Habitat TERI. Also with me is Sudeshna Mukhopadhyay, Head Center of Competence Lighting Applications, Philips Lighting, Ashok B. Lal, Principal Ashok B. Lal Architects, and Smita Chandiwala, Program Officer, Buildings and Appliances, Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much for joining me. I think three key areas which my research team has, of course, come up with, and I'd like to just ask you whether these are the best ways to maximize efficiency and minimize energy usage. They say it's insulation methods. You have to look at that. Solarizing the home, that's an important one, and of course lighting solutions. So I, of course, more than welcome if there are other views, but let's begin because it's a festival of lights with lighting solutions. We've had two scientists winning the Nobel Prize in Physics for LED. Let me begin by asking you, it's a big step forward in the world recognizing that energy efficiency and the discoveries there are to be highlighted.
Definitely, yes. I think it's quite a landmark and a big fillip to the industry as a whole. You know, blue LED has actually transformed the way we look at LED for general lighting. LED is not a new technology per se. You know, we had LEDs for, decades together, and they were used for indicator lights. But we had red LEDs and we had green LEDs.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you did not have the blue one, and unless you have the blue one, you don't have the red, green and blue, which makes a white light.
Absolutely.
So the blue LED invention, which was even 20 years ago, was a starting point which started industry to look at LED as a general lighting sources and not just only, doing gimmickry or doing facade lighting or architectural lighting and other festive lighting. So with this blue LED started the proliferation of white light, or as we call in the industry, general lighting. And while we started with the professional space, material technology, manufacturing technology, and definitely acceptance by the consumers is bringing it into homes now. So in the last 1.5 years, you would see a lot of new products coming from the industry, which is basically for home lighting.
What do you think is the acceptance of LED lighting? You're building many homes. Do you think people are now automatically saying that is the solution that we want?
Well, I think a very interesting innovation that came along with both CFL and LED is that you can replace your existing fixtures with a new fixture. You can replace your existing fixtures with a new fixture. That's a very important innovation because it means that you don't have to change entire installations to be able to install.
You mean to say in the same socket you can fix an LED lighting?
I think that was a...
But why? I mean, I've had a very recent example when one of my CFL bulbs was not working, so I said, can you change it with LED? The electrician said, no, it has to be there has to be a socket change. Is that correct?
Now that depends on the type of LED fixture. So I'm pointing out to this particular facility, if it is brought into the LED fixtures on offer today, and I think over the last 2 weeks we've been seeing the LED thing that looks like the light bulb.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is exactly that.
Yeah.
It's a very clever move and it's a very appropriate move.
And how much
that
is
is what
price?
makes it first acceptable, because I don't have to change everything in order to install it.
Okay.
The next thing is, how much does it really cost? And I think we have to go back to Sudeshna to ask that question.
How?
Yeah, it would depend. Any product has a specification built into it. Even if Professor Lal mentioned about CFLs. When CFLs also entered the market, you also were, grappling with the issue of the base and the socket. So even CFLs had two different bases. One base which can go directly into a incandescent bulb socket, and you have bases which are basically a CFL base, which is what we call as a non-retrofit solution. So even in LEDs, you have what we call as a retrofit solution and a non-retrofit
So is
solution.
a retrofit solution a good enough one?
Yes, for
you
homes,
can,
yes,
for homes,
you can
because
just
nobody wants to change the entire lighting.
Yes,
It's a huge headache.
Yeah, so you have a retrofit solution and you have a non-retrofit solution. Why non-retrofit solution? You can then exploit the potential of design. So because LEDs, are a very, very small compact source, if you really want to make a very artistic luminaire, probably you would like to do it differently than get into the shape of a conventional bulb or a, a conventional
Are there
tube.
options to
So
get very
there are
artistic?
options.
Oh, sure. So, you're really addressing the whole market. You're addressing a market which needs to be very economical. And that's where the largest consumption is.
But you didn't
And-
talk about the pricing point
Yes.
yet, and I
Right.
think all our viewers do want to know,
That's right. So we still have to
yeah.
cross-examine
address
on
the
that one.
pricing
If I come
bit.
to the
But I think
price,
you can address the other end of the market too, where LED now becomes as flexible and as adaptable a type of lighting system as any other that we have known. And so I think you address the breadth of the market, but I think the price issue still remains to be answered.
Yes, prices. If you just go to the retail market, probably prices start at about 250 rupees or so, or a little lower, and can go as high as whatever you
But
can
a regular
think
one.
of.
So
Yeah.
let's say if I have to replace
So
a
it would
60
be-
watt bulb, right? So what would that be
Yeah,
in
so
LED?
If you would probably we should reference it against a CFL lamp,
Right.
because more or less most
Okay,
of the
let's
homes.
reference it against
So
a
if you are
CFL. That's right.
referencing it as CFL lamp, it would be 2.5 times. Now.
2.5 times.
Yes.
And the energy saving is?
It's less than, more than 70 to 80%. So between
Okay, so
50% to
that is what
80%.
everyone needs to
And
hear.
also the life class. Also keep in mind, while we talk about energy, there is also another factor which also affects our environment, and that's mercury. So LED does not contain any mercury. So
Yeah,
when
that's
you are
important.
disposing CFL, you are also disposing mercury into the,
Wow.
into our Mother Earth, and that's not
Right.
a sustainable, long term it's not sustainable, and we
Okay.
do not have very stringent regulations of recycling in our country. So LEDs also bring in that advantage that if you buy a good LED and a good spec LED, it should last you more than 25,000 hours, and the disposal, and there is
So there are
there's
many
no
more
mercury.
benefits than
much
just, okay.
more
I
benefits
saw when
than
you talk
only
about
energy.
mercury and disposability, I saw Smita shaking her head she seems to like that bit of it. Give us your thoughts on just India, where we stand. Are we very, very slow and late adopters? I'm only going to limit this conversation to SEC A, B in cities, because the penetration would be much lower in B cities and rural areas. They have a long way to go. First they need the lights to come to their villages. But in the socio-economic class that we are talking about, which we can benchmark, who have traveled globally, who have the affordability, do you see that the adoption is terribly slow, or do you think you're encouraged by it?
I think it's a pretty recent technology, so we'll see adoption rates growing. But what I'd like to highlight is that the government is actually working towards procuring in bulk by aggregating demand, and one of the key sectors would be a rural sector, because when you provide access to energy to rural areas through an off-grid solar solution, you want the maximum efficient technology to be there, right?
So this whole conversation that let's just limit it to SEC A, B of cities is a wrong conversation, wrong route
so
to go
recently
through. Okay.
the government is actually prioritizing the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana,
Vidyutikaran, yes.
right, which is for electrification of villages, and they're combining LED lighting with this provision, because
So
provide
that's
the
a
most
big step. So the government, Dr. Lal, can the government play a really important role in evangelizing LED usage? Because they said
Surely.
as soon the day that we heard about the Nobel Prize
Surely.
for the discovery, for the invention rather, not
Yeah.
discovery, we immediately heard some noises from the government that they're going to come out with a 10 rupee LED light.
Yeah.
So do you think it's possible, or do you think that it's just
Well, I definitely think that's possible, and I think that's the way to go.
so huge subsidies? It's okay to go down
because
that route?
if you want to see this whole thing in the context of climate change, what the scientists are telling us today is that we have got an opportunity window of merely 7 or 8 years. If we are not able to reverse our trends within that time, we're going to have difficulty.
Just 7 to 8
8
years?
years.
Good Lord.
So, in the process of rapid economic growth and in the process of urbanization, if you don't take really aggressive steps towards reducing demand, which can be done through governmental action, and creating the demand for the inventors and the product producers to find solutions which are affordable and they can on a small margin have huge scales, you know, we will not be able to answer the demand of climate change on us.
Let's bring in Millie. Millie, you know, you've been hearing our conversation here. What do you think? Place India in the entire global world map and tell us how far are we from just ensuring that at least through lighting our carbon footprint is minimized.
Lighting has a huge role to play in terms of energy security as well as energy efficiency dialogue and discussions. And in context of while we are discussing LED to be introduced at homes and in the rural areas, in this context I wanted to mention that TERI runs a huge program which is called Lighting a Billion Lives, you know, where we are looking at bottom of the pyramid and looking at LED solutions for rural applications, wherein a whole entrepreneurship model has been created around, you know, LED lamps being there and being charged through solar systems. So that makes a huge sort of economic benefit because you have a solution which is consuming less amount of energy and you know, you are able to generate that economy of scale because you are able to use solar systems to be able to power it and cater to a large mass. So that is, I think, a huge application of LED and you know, sort of helping India to meet the access to millions of people who do not have access to electricity.
Okay.
On the discussion of home solutions and particularly office solutions, I have just two takes. You know, one thing is personally as an LED user, I thought some of the key things that probably, you know, Sudeshna can highlight is the quality of the LED lamps that we get in the market, because we have various quality and, you know, there is a huge issue about heat being generated, the drivers of LED and the heat sinks, and LEDs often fail because these drivers may not be appropriate.
Do you agree, Professor Lal, with Millie that a lot more needs to be done? I mean, the products which are available right now still have a long way to go?
Yeah, I think
at least for home solutions, because
well,
we are going to be urging that, you know, after
that's-
seeing the show,
that's for sure.
people go out there and do retrofit this this Diwali. Does the manufacturing sector have a larger role to play before you can compel them to do
yes,
so?
definitely, because when you go shopping for the LED fixture or the LED light, you will be told by the good manufacturer that, you know, this costs quite a bit, whereas I say that, you know, you can buy the same thing for half the price or even less than that. Then he will tell you that there are these shortfalls in the technology at the moment. So I think as the technologies are nascent, there are quite a few bugs yet to be plugged, especially at the cheap end of the solution. I think that is a catch and we have to work on
And
it.
they're 220 rupees. Is that the one that we are talking about, or 2.5 times? Yeah, 2.5
Yeah,
times.
but
not
there are
220
many things in the
rupees, sorry.
market which may not be manufactured by Philips, or whom we might call the big responsible companies being manufactured by other kinds of companies, where you might face this problem. So I think it is quite important that you go to buy a product which is checked for quality.
Sudeshna?
Yeah, if I would just like to respond to that, India per se is the first country, the Bureau of Indian Standards, who has published LED standards. So we have standards for LED retrofit lamps, we have standards for LED modules and drivers. And Millie, thanks a lot for you know, bringing up the reference on the quality of light. Finally, we are all human beings and we need light not only for vision, it has a psychological and biological impact as well. So the color quality and the technical quality are very important. So there are
heating aspect. She
yeah,
said
so
that she
yeah,
had
so let
some
me come
kind
to
of
that. So
reservations
yeah,
on
so if you take LED as a technology, it is technology specific. It's nothing to do with the lamp. So you know, the way the light is generated, you also generate a substantial amount of heat at the junction of the two diodes, you know. So
More
that,
than what you do in a CFL light?
no, it is different. That's
Okay.
a heat generation inside. So LEDs will not radiate heat. So if you are standing in front of an LED, you don't feel any heat. So that it doesn't heat up. But within it, within the chip itself, there is heat generation, so which needs to be extracted out, and that is where the manufacturing excellence comes in. Okay, so when we are talking about standards and BIS standards and good manufacturers and not so good manufacturers, this is where the differentiation comes in. So the life of the LED will depend on how well you extract that heat out of it.
Smita, what's your own view in terms of the products which are available currently in the market, the choices that consumers have? Of course, I know that you work more towards the weaker segments, but even if you had to go out shopping for LEDs, do you think that with the Bureau standards, BIS standards, you still have products which are below the standards, and therefore you have to be a bit careful of what you go out and shop for?
I think that's pretty much where the standards debate needs to go. People need to sort of be able to see a certification which is easy to understand. You know, we have something similar for appliances, and it needs to sort of extend. We have it for the tubular fluorescent lights, and it needs to extend now to LED.
Okay.
Also, I think just to add in terms of where the market is growing, there is a lot of efficiency potential as well, which will see improvement over time. So it's not, right now there is a lot of savings already possible with an LED, but in the few coming years we'll see that efficiency improvement as well.
So we've not reached the inflection point, Dr. Lal? Let's have the final, not at all. on
But I
LED.
think something we are forgetting, all right? Because we are not only talking about efficient lighting, we are talking about minimizing consumption of electricity, for illumination, all right?
Absolutely.
So please don't forget the daytime use of lights. If your buildings are badly designed, if your windows are poorly designed, and they end up you drawing the curtain and switching on the light inside because the window is poorly designed, LED or no LED, you've got the first thing wrong.
I think that is
So I think the first principle of saving electricity as far as illumination is concerned is to be able to use daylight effectively.
All right, I think we're going to take a quick break on this note, but we have understood the importance of using daylight more efficiently, and then also looking at the LED solutions which are available. You can do retrofitting. So this Diwali, if you can afford it, then why not go for the best and take that step? I think that's really important. But then there's lots more when it comes to reducing your carbon footprint, energy efficiency. There's also solar that we have to talk about, and insulation of our homes. We'll come back and discuss those as well. You're watching a special program, Pre-Diwali. We're looking at how do you really go green in your homes on a daily living basis.